Weapons hot and one-liners at the ready, recruits. This ain't just some summer blockbuster vacation. This is the real deal. You've been chosen as part of an elite task force for the month of action. Now when those bullets start to fly and everything around you is up in flames, don't you lose your nerve. Remember who you are. You're the toughest, craziest, most resourceful sons of bitches to ever lace them up. We don't wait for backup and we damn sure don't retreat. Now strap your asses in and get ready for the drop. Oh, and one more thing. Before you pull that trigger, tell them John Mortis sent you.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I am mine. Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
You're disease, and I'm the jerk.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.
There can be only one. Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. Month of Action!
Yes!
He is back! We've all been waiting. Oh, man, it feels good to push that button again. I absolutely adore it. This is my Christmas. This is my symphony. This is my Rachmaninoff's whatever number. You know, it's all good. I look forward to this every year. And as we have been telling you constantly, and I'm sure if you're following the socials, this is the biggest month of action we have ever done here. And it's only going to get bigger from here. And then we've also added something very special that we just decided, I don't know, Anna, an hour ago?
Yeah, a couple hours ago.
That this is going to be our first YouTube video with the podcast video, not just our audio. So you get to actually see us, our smiling faces. So we don't have set dressings or anything, you know, like those higher echelon shows like Dissect That Film. You know, those guys really go all outs with the RGB lights. And I strive to be just like Parker one day. But I will love Hulk Hogan, not hate Hulk Hogan. But... So yeah, this is we're on YouTube now, so we'll be pushing that a lot more. We'll make sure we got links on everything, still doing the podcast, still doing everything else. And we will get to everyone that's involved during the commercial break. Now, before I play the trailer of the movie I picked, I guess I need to introduce my co-hosts. I got so excited for the month of action. Pete, you're muted. It just wouldn't be an episode. But there he is. That's why I forgot. There he goes. See, he was so quiet. I didn't realize he was there.
But you can see my face talking through the whole thing, I'm certain.
See you doing it. Everyone will see it now, so it's totally fine.
Yes, welcome to my world.
Welcome
to Charlie's world.
There's Pete. I don't have to introduce him. He already introduced himself. And we also have our lovely Scream Queen, Anna. Say hello to the people, Anna.
Hello. Happy to be here, as always.
I have so much to do for this first episode and to get through. I totally forgot my own shit to do.
That's okay.
For the show that we've been doing for over 4 years. So that's totally fine. Yeah. So our first episode this month, I chose the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. We will get into why and histories right after the trailer.
Gus March Phillips, I have a mission I want you to lead. Thank you, Sergeant.
What's the plan?
To neutralize the German U-boats in the North Atlantic.
We're losing the war. Hitler is not playing by the rules, so neither are we. We both know that I'm not very popular with the administration.
The reason they find you unattractive is the very reason I find you attractive.
If I'm to do this, I'll need my own team. You won't like them. They're all... mad.
They'll need to be.
This is an unsanctioned, unauthorized mission. If we fail, England will be condemned to a lifetime under the German boot.
And so I said, that is not a dog. That is my wife.
It's very good.
Your operation are reckless.
Abort this mission now.
Hello, can't hear you. Please do off.
All right, that is the trailer for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And Pete made a nice little observation during that the joke was in English, but in the movie, it was in German. Pete, how did that go in German again?
Es no esta mi novia, esta mi perro. Wait, no, it's the other way around. It's not my dog, it's my wife. Hell, I've already screwed it up.
You got the point across.
Speaking Spanish, not German.
Well, something about mein Frau, which is my wife, but I don't know the German word for dog.
All I know is nothing you said sounded like Rammstein.
Perito.
So I knew that wasn't German. All right, yeah. Not enough Du Hast mixed into the middle.
No está mi perito.
And
está mi novia.
you're not spitting enough with the
Yeah. Where's the phlegm? The phlegm, sir. The phlegm.
I studied a romantic language, not a...
German is romantic as
It's
fuck.
not a romantic language. Did you hear the word for butterfly later on in the film?
I
Boots
deeply
and pants come down. I don't know. It's
I deeply regret taking German in high school instead of something more suitable for everyday life like Spanish.
I flunked out of Spanish. There was no chance for me. Once we got past what I learned in Sesame Street, I was done.
That's fair. All I can remember in German is how to count. I can count to
Zero.
12, like Guten Morgen, stuff like that.
Morgen.
But
Schnitzel.
yeah, there you go. Schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Love me some schnitzel.
Braunschweiger.
Pete, we need to go to the Schnitzel House up in Northern Ohio. It's awesome. Little, I don't know, she might not be alive anymore, but a little old lady was the grandmother, made the gravy for that place. Oh. Stop it. I could eat just the gravy. She was a
Give me a
sweetheart,
straw.
too. Look, we loved it so much. We know the owners because we would go there so often on
That's
our
awesome.
trips. That's how I found out. They would bring me. They if you ordered like I need gravy for dipping, they bring out this little cup.
Aw.
When I would go in and be like, I want the
Get your
schnitzels.
coffee mug.
I didn't have to ask. They brought a bowl. It
Nice.
looked like I got soup because I
Soup
would
of
put
gravy.
that shit on everything. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, so yeah, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, 2024. So this is a new one.
Yeah.
And Guy Ritchie. So two of the reasons I picked this right off the bat, I wanted a new movie. I wanted a fairly recent one. And I love Guy Ritchie movies. They're comforting to me. I love his direction. I love his style of action movies. Even if people don't want to call Snatch and, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels action, they fit the vibe. And I just love the way he tells the stories in those. But the other reason is I knew this would probably go over really well with my co-hosts because there's obviously going to be one, maybe two this month that they're going to look at me a little bit like Charlie. And I'm like, it's month of action.
Give you the side eye.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's
I
got to
know
be a
about
lot
that
of
one.
machine guns and explosions. But I already knew Pete had seen Ministry, and he was gushing about it immediately after I told him to watch it. And then I knew this was going to be a first-time watch for Anna, and me and Peter just sitting in the sidelines, just like waiting to hear her gush. So we will start there. Anna, what is your history with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
With a title like that, it's kind of hard to forget when you hear it. Like, new movie coming out, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. What? So it's one of those I heard the title of, but I never watched. And Dad too, I was surprised. I was like, have you seen this? And he was like, no, but I remember it. And I was like, man, you've got to watch it, because ladies and gentlemen, this is how you do an Anna action movie.
Hell yeah.
Everything about this movie was so much fun, and I have been gushing about it ever since I watched it. I do love a good war movie. This one does not overcomplicate things for you. It's very easy to follow, and I've been telling everybody about it. Even my movie buddies at work who are typically hear me talk about horror movies, they were like, is this a historical drama? And I was like, well, kind of, but don't pay attention to that part. Everything else is fun, which I like the history part of it too, but it was just so what they're not used to hearing me gush about. But yeah, this was a blast. And there's so many attractive people in this movie. And this month, might I add. So I had to get a little prop. I pulled a card from Pete's book, just specifically for this month. I don't have practice with it, but I had to get me a fan.
Oh,
okay. Because I'm going to need it. Hunky men, beautiful women. Charlie, what a way to kick the month off.
When Carrie Elwes is the most average looking person in the cast, that's saying something about how pretty this cast is.
And he's a handsome man.
Princess Bride, even Saw. I mean, he's as hunky as Men in Tights. He's as hunky as they come. And he is just an average schlep in this movie compared to these other folks. My goodness.
Very much so. But yeah, I like how, Anna, how you put it. Like, it's kind of a drama, but it's done the right way.
So,
it's an action with loosely historical facts behind it. Some of this happened potentially.
Right.
But we'll get into that in a little bit once we get going. So, Pete, what is your history with the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
You recommended it to me. I went out and rented it, watched it with Jody, and we both just loved it for its audacity, its over-the-top violence. This is my kind of action movie. This is absurd. I am not a fan of war movies. I don't like war. I don't like anything about war. I don't like real people on people violence. It's not my bag of tea.
Right.
This leaned heavily into the subterfuge and spy part. It wasn't just people on the front battlefield shooting each other. That hurts me all sorts of different ways.
Yeah, it's not we were soldiers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No thank you. Apocalypse Now, no thank you. But this is my kind of thing. Like, there's a clear enemy. It's Nazis. Who doesn't love a dead Nazi?
That's what I've been saying. Who doesn't bond over like the thought of killing Nazis together?
Oh yeah. It's great.
Can't go wrong.
And then the action is completely over the top. They have silenced machine guns. Is that a real gun, Charlie?
Not that quiet.
Not that silent, right?
Yeah, not that silent. They
Okay.
have silencers, but not that quiet. Yeah.
Don't know about that. I'm okay with that. I also liked that it wasn't all just people standing there shooting. We had one fella who was a knife and bow expert and was very convincing at what he was able to do.
It's Reacher, sir. I mean, he's kind of convincing in everything he does anymore.
Boy. Wow.
Well, there goes Anna.
Oh, Lord
have mercy.
So I wouldn't call it, there were comedic parts about it. Clearly, this cast loved each other and were having an absolute ball throughout the whole film. The bad guys were having a good time. Everybody was having a good time in this movie. And it shows on screen. And I smiled ear to ear. This is a little over 2 hours, is it?
Right at 2.
It's right at 2.
Right at 2.
And it still flies by. You think it's going to end, and then it keeps going because, of course, something gets screwed up.
Yep.
From everything I've read, it is one of those perfect based on a true story, because there's a lot of truth behind what happened. A lot of truth, all up into like literally blowing up the anchors so that the ships could get out. It is not 100% factual. There is a book that this movie is based off of. That is based off the book is, I think, the historical, as accurate as the author could get historically.
Yeah.
And it actually follows this group of miscreants through World War II. And I'm fascinated to read it. It sounds like their adventures keep getting more and more over the top. So I'm real curious to read the book too. So yeah, this is, boy, Charlie, you flipping home run right away in the month of action.
Started big. Started big.
There aren't many movies you could start bigger, and this is brand spanking new. So I don't know how well it's in the theater. I don't know how well it's been received overall. But if you are an action fan, you are doing yourself a disservice by not watching this. Run to watch this movie. Put it at the top of your list. I've been telling everybody that over the last couple of weeks. Put this at the top of your list.
As soon as I get paid this week, I'm buying it. I have to have it.
I really want to check out like the Blu-ray to see if it has extra features on it.
Oh, you want to know if it has extra features?
Oh, you've got it.
Charlie, tell us.
The Ministry of Filmmaking and the
That's what I sent to you guys today.
Trailer.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what it has on this.
So that's it's still pretty bare bones. It's still
pretty bare bones.
Still
this would be one that if I do get a lot more special features, I would upgrade to 4K later. But this was another one of those. Charlie at Christmas gave Jackie a list to just tell him, just get me these lists of movies. They're at Walmart. Blu-ray's fine, and that's what this was one of them that I got.
Nice.
So, and Pete, to your question, this actually didn't do great at the box office. 60 million budget.
I don't get it, man.
30 million worldwide. So,
that's a crime against action movies.
I will get into my history with it, and maybe it'll kind of, I don't know if it'll shine a light on it. So my history with this is I knew it was coming out. I saw the trailers everywhere. I knew it was a Guy Ritchie movie. I was excited, but I didn't go to the theater. I don't know what it was about last year. I went to Beekeeper. I went to Kong X Godzilla, New Empire.
Deadpool. Did y'all go see that?
We went to Deadpool. I skipped everything, and I didn't even go to Furiosa.
That's right. You didn't,
I didn't go to that one. So there was a lot of movies I slept on. Well, come to find out, a lot of us slept on it because we picked the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare on the Action Elite last year, and we're like, let's cover it. It's newish, it's different. So we all got it, and nobody really said anything for like a day or two. And then we got onto the recording, and it's basically all of us going, did you love this movie? Yes, I love this movie. Did you love this movie? I did love this movie. This movie was the best. I mean, we were all like gushing and being like, we're dumbasses. Why weren't we in the theater supporting this movie? Because it bombed. And there's no reason this movie should have bombed.
No.
This should have, maybe the release time, I feel like it was like
is that a weird January release?
It wasn't January, but I want to say it was like February or March, somewhere around there.
That's still a weird time for movies, I think.
Oh, April 19th.
Oh, April. That's not bad.
It's not bad, but not great either.
But it's also like, I think maybe a lot of people went into it thinking it was just a war movie and didn't really, dive further into it.
But when the trailer's playing Queen, another one bites the dust.
That's fair, yeah. I
don't think Scorsese or even Spielberg is going to go that far for a war movie. And I should have. It's fucking Guy Ritchie. And I was already pissed off that I didn't go watch The Gentleman. It was like early 2020s. Like it was still kind of COVID. It came out on my birthday. It didn't come near me. And I was pissed off. We didn't get it near me because I always go to see a Guy Ritchie movie. And then I miss a second one. And honestly, I like The Gentleman. It's not really an action movie, but my style of, those type of movies, I love a good Guy Ritchie. So yeah, I slept on this one, but now I tell everyone about it. And I knew I wanted, after last year, we started with Maverick, which was fucking huge.
Oh, yeah.
Still quite possibly one of the greatest movies I've ever experienced in a theater.
Same.
And I'm hopefully fingers crossed, this will probably be out beforehand, going to go watch F1, and we're going to go to one of those bigger theaters that's like the whole.
Oh, go see that in IMAX if you can, or like
experience.
Ultravision or whatever.
I think it's whatever the Ultra. We don't have a close IMAX, but we got that next level.
Yeah.
Like it literally shakes you and shit like that.
There's one of those in Knoxville I've been wanting to go to and experience. Somebody did that for the Twisters movie, and I was like, man, that would be cool. So much fun.
Yeah.
After watching Twisters at home, I really wish I had seen it in that version. But hopefully, me and my buddy are going to go watch F1. So
yeah, we just got tickets for Jurassic World. When
the
it
new
comes
one.
Out. Yeah, the new one.
We got to go see it too.
Yeah, we've got it over here at the Marcus on the big ultra screen.
Jonathan Bailey, Wicked, hello.
Scarlett Johansson's in this one.
Yep, she deserves the fan too.
Yep,
yeah,
she gets the fan.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my brief history because this movie did come out in 2024, and like I said, it's
fan does not discriminate hotness.
Absolutely not. No matter the gender.
Just like in this movie, like there's even you could kind of squint a little bit, and Churchill's kind of like, you know what, I see it.
I can see
it. Fine. I'm not going to kick him out of bed. I mean, he's Winston Churchill,
right?
Winston Churchill. I like this one, and
might
now
have gout at this time. Didn't he have bad case of gout?
I think this is just before gout.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah. But
a problem.
So I know this. One of the things that a lot of people that did watch it, they immediately just tried to be like, well, it's just a redo of Inglorious Bastards. Inglorious Bastards did it better. And I'm like,
it did it differently.
It did.
And Inglorious Bastards
different.
is completely fictional.
Totally different.
Whereas there is quite a bit of reality wrapped up into this story. This was a huge blow to the Nazi regime when they couldn't get supplies to their U-boats.
I'll do the U-boats probably could have won them the war.
No doubt.
They were winning them the war.
They would have kept the United States out of the war.
Yeah, they were winning.
They would have worn England down.
Mm-hmm.
And once England fell, that was it.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was holding it back. Matter of fact, I think I read in the trivia that they do a real quick shot of one of the submarines, and it's the U-571, the famous U-boat.
Uh-huh.
They've done the movie about it and everything.
Is that the Das Boot?
I think it's Das Boot, but they also did like the Americanized
Matthew McConaughey one.
Well, Hunt for Red October is more Cold War. Nuclear
yes,
submarines, we're not quite there yet.
Oh, really?
Y'all are going to have to excuse us when we're doing video. We'll get better at this, but hopefully we don't make this crappy for Anna to edit later.
No, not at all. Mm-mm.
Pete's going to look like Max Headroom the amount of time we're going to have to edit him. It's fine. But no, I don't think it's fair to compare this movie. Now, would this be a fantastic double feature to watch Inglorious and then Ungentlemanly?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
like that to me, that would be a perfect night, and I'd have a hard time picking which one I want to watch first and which one I want to end on.
Bastards.
Really? Bastards first?
Yeah, because of how much, even with the comedy that's in that, I feel like it's still more serious than this movie. So I would want to, yes, absolutely. So I'd want to start with it and then end the night with the laughs and the hunky boys.
It's way more grindhouse than this is. This is,
I
don't want to say cleaner, but the only thing I'll have dirty drive-in feel to it.
Only thing I have a hard time is in seeing, the Nazi killer, and then he's Heinrich in this movie.
Yeah. Like, he's Hugo Stiglitz in Bastards.
Hugo Stiglitz, yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Hugo, how the mighty have fallen.
I know.
But he's a great actor. I don't care.
Yeah, and I thought that when I watched this, because I mentioned that to y'all in the chat, I was like, this music sounds so much like Tarantino and Ennio Morricone. And then I looked up, I can't remember who scored it, but he took inspiration from Ennio Morricone and other musicians and who made scores for movies like that and during that time. So, and I even made the comment today. I was like, yeah, because Pete said it would be a great Bastards double feature. And I was like, yeah, this definitely has that feel, but it doesn't diminish the movie in any kind of way. They just feel similar in a lot of ways while still being different on their own.
Well, yeah. I mean, how many different ways can you film a group of guys going out and just killing Nazis, and they're not particularly under a military thumb? Yeah, but I mean, for this to feel to me totally two separate movies.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. This one, I do say this one's way more fun, and a lot of that comes through because of Cavill. The Cavill's Gus in this movie, he is just so brazen and charming when they're trying to get him for the mission. And he's in the room with them and they're trying to run everything down. And they're like, hey, fix you a spot of tea. And he looks at the tea and he looks at the open bar, picks up, what is it, like Johnny Walker or whatever
an
it was?
expensive bottle. And he's been in prison, mind you. So he's like, no, I'm gonna indulge a little here.
I'm pretty sure that was Johnny Walker. And he like holds it and then looks over at Carrie Ellis. And Carrie Ellis just kind of rolls his eyes and like nods.
So funny.
Pours it. Then he's like, oh, cigars.
Yeah.
Taking these.
Takes himself a bunch of cigars.
One and then 27.
grabs a giant Henry Cavill handful of cigars.
Oh, yeah. And the mustache was his idea. And I'm just like, there goes Anna again. And I think one, it's brilliant on his part.
So, bring some my way.
Fan Pete a little bit.
Thank you very much.
Having a lot of fun with the audience, because the big controversy with him years ago was the mustache for Superman, because they had to digitally remove it because he was filming Fallout, the Mission Impossible, and he had a mustache in that. Well, I have to feel like that's his little sly wink and a nod, and then he grows the most epic fucking mustache I have ever seen in a long, long time.
Very epic.
It usually takes people years. He's such a manly man that he just he probably grew that over the weekend, right?
He did.
Right.
That's what I'm picturing. Like he just
stared in the mirror.
It was like the Santa Claus. It just grew over the weekend.
Son of a bitch.
Just drank a whiskey or a giant beer, just anything,
And he's got the shaggy, curly brown hair. Oh,
wow,
guys,
he is perfect in this role. And then I was equally excited to find out about Alan Ritchson being in this. He's Reacher. I love that show. Season 2's a little weak.
I've got to,
but I still like it. Oh, Anna. Season 1.
I'll just be a puddle on the floor.
Oh, and they're working on season 3 already. Oh my God, it is so well done. He is a mountain of a man. Yeah. And somehow he feels bigger in this movie than he did in Reacher.
Yes.
I don't know how, but he does.
I sent you that picture of Cavill shaking hands with him and Henry Cavill looking like a little tiny person.
Wolverine standing up to Colossus or some shit.
Right. Right.
But so they casted this well, and it's not just the Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson movie. It's an ensemble movie. The other ones, I had to write down their names so I didn't mess this up.
Mm-hmm.
In the groups, they had Hayes, which is their younger protege to Gus.
He's the pilot. He's the seaman.
And he knew his older brother.
No,
died.
Don't you put that on me. I said that correctly.
Okay. Anna found out a new second use for the fan.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this month.
But yeah, he's basically the ship's pilot, whatever you want to call it. You had Freddie, who I still think Gus is the captain. Gus just doesn't drive the boat. That's kind of how to say.
The helmsman.
Sure.
How about
helmsman?
That?
There we go. And then Freddie, who's the explosive expert. I always love me a guy that can just blow shit up
Anna,
in a movie.
Give me some of that for the frogman here.
Yes, absolutely.
My word.
I love that.
And then I love how he was like, he's just a terribly miserable person unless he's blowing something up or destroying something. And I'm like, oh well, that's all I need to know about this guy.
It's so quite. This movie, I know I jumped into the Henry Cavill stuff, but I want to talk about the opening of this movie, because this opening of the movie sets the pace for everything you're about to get into. The insanity, the gore, and the comedy. The brazenness of it.
The brazenness, the audacity of these people.
The audacity
right there.
Mm-hmm.
These people have no fear, and they revel in murdering Nazis in the most wonderful ways.
Because these Nazis get on their boat. We have no idea what's going on. First watch,
mm-hmm.
They're just
Right.
You know, it's Richardson and Cavill sitting on a boat. Looks like they're having food that's out. These Nazis come in on a small dinghy, get up on there doing Nazi shit.
I was supposed
you
to
know,
say being
papers,
Nazis.
being Nazis.
Yeah.
Show me your-
Nazis.
yeah.
Well, they're in their waters. They're
Nazi controlled
Cavill-
waters.
Yeah, so the Nazis at this time had the right to board and ask them what the hell
They
was going
did.
on.
Yeah.
It is wartime.
There's still rules of war
Engagement.
So
Mhm.
engagement. So
So
we're going to get on this boat
Instead of
and we're
just
gonna
blowing
look
them
at
out
it.
of the water, they hop aboard. They tell them, hey, what's going on? The Nazis, pretty quickly think that these guys are, what's the word, poofters? Is that
Sure, we'll
is
go
that-
with
is that a good
period,
word?
period accurate.
Uh-huh.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Sure. There's a couple of strapping, handsome fellas on a vacation all by themselves in the
Yeah.
middle of the water,
Drinking wine,
having
having a
cheese.
They got a nice little setup on that boat. I
They
don't know.
darn right they
Nice
do.
little picnic going on.
but set up perfectly so that when they start fucking with the Nazi lieutenant, whatever the fuck he is, he glances at the bottle and the bottle's half empty. So immediately these two are drunk. These are drunk. They're not in their right minds.
They start giggling.
They are fucking with these guys.
Totally.
Oh, don't shoot me. Oh, don't.
I'm so scared.
Make him walk the plank. He likes wood.
He hits Germans. Shoot him in the face.
I'll give you 30 francs to
God.
shoot him in the face.
Being able to just do that, I want to know how many takes that took. How many fucking takes did it take them to do this scene?
As they're laughing.
How many times did the Germans crack and start laughing their asses? I want that blooper reel.
Mm-hmm.
But I love, and then it's, you got the ones that are down below searching, tearing through, looking through a little crack. We don't know there's another person there. Again, cold open. We don't know shit.
Don't know what's going on.
But the second that Hayes shoots through that thing to kill that Nazi, it's a blink and miss it when Lazar cuts that fucking Nazi's throat. Like
he's so fast.
Where was the knife at?
Don't
Like
know.
Seriously, like
Don't know.
holy shit!
It's just that good.
Yeah.
And Cavill had the gun right at like knee height, right at the table. Boom, up. I mean, it happens in a blink of an eye. That boom, they're all dead. All dead.
All dead.
And you're like, okay, I've been laughing. That was fairly graphic. Now they're like, oh shit, there's a whole ship that's going to just start shooting at us and blow us out of the water. We're not armed.
They
Lasser.
don't have computers at this time, so they start shelling them. The
so
Nazi
they're
warship.
ranging.
So they're ranging them. They're like, oh, that was they're going to get close. Oh, now they're
Closer.
Two clicks down, closer. 2 clicks down. Alan Richardson picks up the fucking dead Nazi lieutenant and waves his arm at the other side. I don't think they're
shooting.
falling for it.
Gold. Fucking gold.
But it breaks the tension all of a sudden when the frogman, Freddy, pops up. You're like, there's more of them.
Who's this guy?
What's going on? And he's like, everything good? Did you get the bomb set? And you're like, oh, fuck, okay, yes. He set a bomb on the hull.
I found right where their arsenal was, and I put a really big boom on the side of their ship.
Yeah,
And it
and
should
I
be-
set a rather large fuse for a rather large explosion, and they're all waiting. The timing of the comedy and how this works is just, and their non-reaction to the explosion. They didn't flinch. They stood there, blew up. Okay,
Good job, boys.
Mission accomplished. Handshakes all around.
I like how Cavill is starting to scold Freddy. Like, Freddy, it's coming.
That's too long of a fuse. You're about to get us blown out of the water.
And then he says, "Good job, Frederick."
Good job, Frederick.
Thank you, Captain.
Now,
It's just
now
like
tell
just two chaps. Like
right, and that is the entrance of the film. So he says, "Good job, Frederick," and Frederick says, "Thank you so much. So can you tell us exactly why we're out here?" Boom.
screw up. 25 days earlier.
This is great. What?
It's a Guy
I
Ritchie
love
thing,
it.
man.
Oh my
It's a
God, it's so
Guy
good. Yes.
Ritchie thing. I know, like some people talk about, and I do love Tarantino, how he kind of tells stories out of order and shit. Guy Ritchie can do this with a little bit of flair, a little bit of style, and you don't feel lost. He
No.
doesn't like jump around.
Right. Tarantino likes to challenge his audience.
For
by
sure. Yeah.
telling things out, or Pulp Fiction is a perfect example. Kill Bill to a degree. He likes to tell things out of order and throw these little crumbs here and there so the audience can go, okay, 1 + 1 + 1 is
You got to get
27.
it. You have to get it. Yeah.
right. This is just this is the
set
last
the hook.
time.
Yeah, this
right.
is
The hook has been set. Now we're going to go to the beginning of the movie, and eventually we're going to catch up to this point in time. And that's the only time this time jump will happen in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
and-
you
and
just so the only thing that happens from this point out is we get the three different missions. We get the three different things that are happening. You have headquarters, you have the subterfuge of the spies that are on the island, and then we are following Gus and his guys on their mission. They have multiple missions they have to do because they have to go save someone he wants on his thing. And that took me like 2 times of watching it to really put together the character Apple's line. I totally missed. They show him with what was his name? Hair on. They show him with hair on early. He's got the spyglass. He's on the island. And I never put it together that was Apple early on. I always thought, we found him with the shit on his nipples later. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now that I'm like, I see him and he's actually in multiple scenes leading up. I'm like, this makes way more sense.
Right.
You need to watch this movie multiple times. You're not going to regret.
You're not going to regret.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, I've watched this twice in 24 hours already, just because I enjoy the shit out of this movie. But I do like this style of storytelling that I feel like Guy Ritchie has perfected over the years. It's why I'm drawn to his type of movies. I like the Sherlock Holmes movies. Fucking sue me. I don't give a shit. I think they're fun.
Benedict Cumberbatch or
No,
Robert Downey Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, not a fan.
Oh, dude, I have so much fun with
Henry
him.
Cavill in the what? Millie Bobby Brown's in him as Sherlock's niece or something.
Oh, Enola Holmes.
Thank you.
Enola Holmes. That's right.
Those are kind of fun, man.
I think Jackie watched those. I was going to say
They're
Argyle,
pretty
but that was a different movie he did.
They're fun. Worth your time.
Yeah. It's good to know.
And I love
Good
in
to
that
know.
moment too when Gus is telling M, like, this is the team I need. These are the guys I need, and here's why. And when they get to Apple, when they get just a great backstory. We get some great.
This is who I need, and this is why. This is
He
shots.
wrestled
This is
bears
why.
as a kid. Like, okay,
I
believe
and then
it.
each person gets their little vignette of why they're angry. Yeah.
And it tells us all we need to know without shoving a bunch of shit in our face throughout the entire movie. It's like we get a small little expose, like you said, great shots of the men, nice little kind of slow-mo while Gus is doing the voiceover, telling their story. It's wonderful. But when they get to Apple, M's like, oh, he's in a prison, a Nazi prison. There's no way. And Gus is like, oh, well, this place is on the way to Fernando Po. It's on the way. And they're looking at him like, okay.
Again, the audacity, the bravery.
Yes.
Is it bravery or at this point, is it insanity?
It's a big old set of nuts is what it is. Like, and not being afraid to die. All of these men, none of them were afraid to die. And that's something Gus mentions at the end of the movie to KB. He's like, but I don't really think that's why, because KB says, they'll thank you for this one day. And he's like, well, I don't know if that's really why we did it.
Exactly. It's not about the thanks. It's not about this. I mean, I look at bravery 2 different ways. I think they are brave, but I go like Captain America when he was the skinny kid and he jumps on the fake grenade to save everyone. He thought it was real. That's bravery. That's selflessness. These guys are just, we have a job to do.
What's the
We're
job?
going to do it. What's the job? We're the best at what we do. We're not afraid to die, but we're also not going to run around and think we're bulletproof either. Like they usually have what Lassiter does, but they usually try to have a plan. Just go ahead, just march right in there and kill as many with them with arrows as you can. I fucking love every bit of that.
Charlie, I like that a lot. Like their brazen is the result of very good planning.
Yeah.
Like they know exactly where they're going to be, where they're going to step each step of the way. They know exactly what's happening. at all
and
times.
they trust each other, and they know
They
what
trust
each
each other.
other.
Just about to say that, Charlie.
Implicitly.
They each have 100% trust in one another, and they're never going to doubt them at all. I love that.
You have your mission, and I know you're going to do it.
Yes,
you have your mission, and I know it.
Of their hatred towards the Nazis, and their our mission from God is to stop the Nazis. So they're like, I'm going to take as many of these motherfuckers with me as I can.
Yeah.
And just like Gus says, try to have some fun, old boys. Remember.
I mean, it's kind of for Queen and Country, but it's not for Queen and Country. It's for the world.
It's for
right.
You know, and that's how I view it, because hell, he was in jail. You know, he was in, His Majesty's prison, when they needed him. Yeah, he was fucking guard pushing him around. I keep going, he's Superman. He's going to break these handcuffs. Right. Because he looks at him like, all right, whatever. We'll play the game.
Yeah. Play the game. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I can get out of these,
Right.
I 1000% believe if he wanted out of those,
it's just ceremony. Okay, whatever.
He's like,
at this point, he's humoring them.
Now.
Yeah, he's humoring them.
Exactly.
and everyone else in the room knows that.
Yes.
Except this poor fucking guard that's leading him around.
He's just trying to do his job. Doesn't even realize what's happening. But
it does a certain, and I love the added that this is like, not to sound cliche, this is kind of like Churchill's last stand as far as this mission goes.
He was on his way out. If this wasn't going to be successful, he was going to be court-martialed.
Well, it was a
removed
mixture
from office.
Well, it was going to be a mixture of he was going to be removed, and if this doesn't work, the Germans are going to take us over.
England is going to give up. They're handing the Germans the key to the country.
They even say they already tried, and Churchill stopped it.
Churchill's the only one stopping them at this point. It's bonkers. Like, this one man is stopping everybody in the ministry. No, I'm not giving up yet. Not giving up.
Yeah,
not giving up.
I don't care what anyone says.
At that point, it's not even a democracy.
It's literally, and he's not even banking on the United States getting involved. He says until we get rid of the U-boats, we can't even count on.
We can't get airplanes over the Atlantic. It just to any degree of success. It's
not even just we got airplanes over because we were helping train. We can't get ships. We can't get troops. We can't get supplies.
Right.
To get past the U-boat blockades.
Airplanes aren't going to make a difference.
No, they really didn't. We were flying a few over. We sent pilots over to help. I mean, ton of movies out there about all that and history that, we were kind of involved. We were trying to help, but we were literally blocked by, to sit here and think these are some of the first actual good working submarines was by Germany. Submarines have been around. The technology wasn't like that new. Hell, we had a submarine in the Civil War.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fucking get in that damn thing, but
it's in the Ohio River.
For all their flaws, the Germans were kind of ahead of the game, kind of ahead of the curve.
But they'd also been preparing for this for a much longer period of time.
Very
than
true.
The rest of the world, quite frankly,
they definitely have it.
They had a longer term plan. Yeah,
this caught everyone off guard. Yeah. So, and this is where I'm sure some people are going to be like, it's not historically accurate. I don't want my Hollywood movies being historically accurate, because you know what happens? It's what's going to happen when Pete watches some of these movies. It's not fun anymore.
It's not fun.
Because I'm watching shit that actually happened. I am a mark for these type of movies. I fucking love anything that has to do with Midway or anything like that. I did that as a school project. I have been fascinated by war, not to a degree of I love it. I'm just fascinated.
By the history of it, and
by the history of it, and what led to what, and be it that my dad watched it, my dad served. Thankfully, no combat or anything like that, but it's ingrained in me that I'm fascinated by it. But if I'm watching a movie, if I want to be depressed, I'm going to watch Fury. If I want to have fun, I'm gonna watch Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, I think you and Nate told me to go watch Fury. I got through like 15 minutes of it. I turned it off. I'm like,
Now
nope.
I did
It's
tell
hard,
you that
yeah.
it's
It's
a
hard.
really, really good
Not for
movie,
me.
but it is a difficult
No.
movie to get through.
I bet it's wonderful, but it was not.
I have
good.
to be in the mood to watch that kind of stuff because I do enjoy it. Like, God, like Band of Brothers is a masterpiece in filmmaking and
Yeah.
just historical accuracy. And I love it. But it's one of those things you just got to be in the mood for. And if I'm not in the
Oh,
mood
yeah.
for it, I just don't, I can't take it there, you know?
This movie is like I said earlier, it's the perfect based on a true story.
It's based on a true story, but I love that it almost has a vibe of The Dirty Dozen, The Great Escape, these type of war movies that still kind of had a little bit of fun, a little bit of spectacle to them. And I really am drawn. Kelly's Heroes, one of Anna's dad's favorite movies.
Not Bridge Over the River Kwai. No,
not anything that's.
I did watch that one. Oh God,
it's a great movie.
Even like MASH, like I feel like the
go.
first 3 seasons of MASH are my favorite because it's all the original cast. But even there's, for as much of that show that is comedy, there are those episodes that hit harder and are more serious and remind you that, hey, this is war after all.
There's an entire battle happening around us right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're not always cracking jokes and people actually die.
Yeah. When Alan Alda wants to make a point, it's going to hit you right in the gut.
No doubt.
I never understand. I got a couple of friends of mine that'll share that whole thing where it's like, oh, when you start hearing the MASH song, it meant time for bed. I'm like, who went to bed when you're watching MASH? I watched that shit all the time growing up.
Yeah,
I love
and
that
Dad,
show.
I love
Mom and Dad
MASH,
wanted
yeah.
us to watch that.
It's fun.
Because it was very funny, but it also was very stark. People died. And,
Yeah.
And that, I think that above all, like maybe have ingrained something in my brain, like war is hell. That's such a stupid cliche
honestly,
to say, but
it should be something ingrained in everyone's brain. War is hell. It's
war and everything.
Yeah.
I wish it was only in movies. I can say that. As much as I love my action movies and everything else, I wish this was a fictional creation that never ever happened, but unfortunately it did.
Yeah.
But this movie does it correctly. And I think Guy Ritchie
Agreed.
pays it the correct amount of reverence,
Yeah.
with the correct amount of, it's not a slapsticky comedy, but he's able to blend the shock of war with some humor. When Lasser finds Apple and he has eviscerated everyone and he cuts out a fucking Nazi's heart.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Inglorious Bastards, when they scalp the first Nazi and you see it on screen, it is a shocking moment.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is.
And no one really cracks a joke. Lasser cuts a fucking heart out, is holding it, and everyone, like Henry Cavill walks in and goes, Lasser, is that a heart you're holding? Just the dryness of the humor too, which I love in my British type things.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone Hayes pops up, like doesn't even acknowledge there's a heart, and he's like, "Oh hi!" And they introduce him to Apple, who still has the fucking prongs attached to his nipples.
How you doing, old boy?
And they're still talking, and then Freddie pops up, like, "How we doing up there, boys? Did we find him?" And then keeps on coming up.
Oh, good.
Lasser's still fucking holding the heart.
Yeah.
Just
he wants his barrel of Nazi hearts.
I want a
right
barrel?
there with him.
Oh
Let's
my
do
God.
it.
A barrel of hearts.
I would not be surprised if the real man didn't actually have a barrel of Nazi hearts. That guy was hardcore. The actual man that the
real
Alan.
Lasser.
Lassen, yeah.
The real Lasser.
Anders Lassen, Gus, and I didn't write his whole name, but it was like Gus
March Phillips.
March Phillips. That is a manly fucking name.
Dude, so manly.
My name is Gus March Phillips. Yes,
It
sir.
immediately
Yes, it
makes you
is.
want to be like, yes, sir.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
salute the fuck out of you.
What can I do to assist you, please?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. What do you need? Can I get you coffee? You all right? You doing okay?
Anything.
Yeah.
Rub.
I mean, and these were like, real names. So these guys were fucking badass back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Who can knock it? All right. Well, before we keep going, we're going to do a commercial break. This commercial break is going to be a little different. You're going to hear the commercial song, and I'm going to do a live commercial for the month of action.
Yes,
Let's
you
see
are.
how this works.
You want a war? Well, you got it right after this.
All right. So as everyone knows by now, we are well into the month of action. We are kicking things off. We have a list. I had to write it down.
Look at all those wonderful people on this list.
17 names
Yep.
on this list. So what I'm going to do is just going to give you the names of their shows. I will try to tag as many people as I can. Havana maybe help me figure out how to put links in show notes. And we'll get all this figured out.
We need to drop their shows in our feed for every.
Yeah. Now, everything as far as Instagram and stuff like that, everyone is shit. We're
linked.
already doing it before this happened, which is fantastic. I love that we're doing it. But aside from our show, we obviously Be Action. We're going to have a action episode every single Saturday dropping this month. Dustin is also doing Flicks and Friends, one episode because this is their break, but they wanted to be a part of it. So technically he's doing a whole month of action.
And he's doing a lot of work behind the scenes too.
He's
the man.
Dustin. Anna's my right-hand girl. Dustin is my right-hand man. Like I could not
Dustin's
do
your right hand?
any. Dustin's my right hand. It's my favorite hand.
Dustin's your Lassen, and I'll be your Frederick.
Okay.
I'll be blowing shit up. How about that?
Anna wants to blow shit up. Pete, that means you're my semen. Wait.
That's perfect. It's perfect.
There's no one else I'd want to be.
That's it. That's it. And also with Dustin and Anna, the Barons Hideout are involved in the month of action, doing a month of horror action.
Yes, sir.
Movies. So be checking them out. I would list what everyone's doing. Too long. We're just
follow
going to let
us.
you know who's doing it. Yeah,
Just
follow
follow us.
everyone that we're doing. Dissect That Film. Parker, they are doing the month of action. I think they're kicking off with Jaws.
Nice.
Can't blame them. It's
No,
like an
it's his
anniversary,
fave,
a
yeah.
birthday.
It's
he
got
loves
a great
it.
big blow up at the end, man.
He just
That
got
shark-
back from
that shark
Amity
goes
Harbor.
Yeah, he went to
I
Martha's
mean,
Vineyard for the celebration. I was
did.
so
Yeah.
jealous. Very
awesome. Mine and Dustin's co-host Mickey, you hear the man. He does our intro for this. Our commercial drops. So he has a YouTube channel. It is part of the Nerd Initiative, and his specific show is called Play for Keeps. They do a live YouTube show every Monday talking about a toy from a certain line or a cartoon. I'm pretty sure they're doing like R-rated action movies, toy lines.
Toys for R-rated action movies.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
RoboCop,
right up our alley.
Rambo,
RoboCop.
Terminator.
Yeah, it's all those.
Yeah.
We also have
Toxic
the guys
Avenger.
from Movie Dumpster.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that was great to get them guys on. I know they were just on the Barons the other
Yes.
day.
Last week.
We also had Sean on for Be Action doing Death Machine. So
Nice.
you got to listen to him over there. We have Video Villa. So that show is going to be doing, I think, at least one action movie. Bad Beer, Good Movie. I mean, Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Pete is going to try to get something out in time. We'll see.
Christ.
I'm going to put the screws to him. I was going to leave it out, but no. He's had technical difficulties, but I'm not
leaving him out.
This.
Yeah, I'm not leaving him
We have
out.
a recorder problem, but I think we have a solution.
Fantastic.
Good.
For the, at least for this one. Yeah.
And also, we don't just have podcasts and YouTube channels involved. We actually have some artists that are doing some custom work. We
Really?
have B Movie Brain, who has already put out a couple of teaser artworks that we have shared over on Instagram. I sent him the list of all the shows that we're doing, and he's making custom art for each one of these. There's one for Ungentlemanly. It's awesome. You'll see it when this comes out.
Did you guys see his RoboCop 2 brain he drew? I shared that to my story. It was so awesome.
I put that in the Facebook group. It looked awesome.
It was so good. He listened to the episode and he was like, I felt inspired, so I wanted to draw this. And when I listen to Give Me Back My Action Movies, it feels like I'm in the basement with my friends. I was like, oh, that's such a nice description.
Joel listens. He's been listening to us for a while. He actually won one of our giveaways at one point, and sent him some stuff. So he's been a fan and a listener for a while, and he reached out to me. He was just felt inspired, and he's like, I just want to draw some like cool bad guy deaths or something. And I went, and we were going through some, and I said, you know what? Month of Action's happening. Why don't we just do all this all at once? He's like, I'm in.
Can he draw a good dummy fall?
I'm sure. I have no doubt.
I mean, it's all static, but I don't know. So, we also have the ladies over at Doom Generation Podcast jumping in. They are a hoot. I'm sure you've heard their trailer here.
Yep.
And even their trailer makes my face blush. So
they're fun. Yes.
I went back and started listening to them. I like that one.
That's
They're
definitely
fun.
a Pete show right there.
Yeah.
No doubt.
We also have the extra spicy Daniel with the Geeks with Beard podcast, who has joined the month of action.
Who?
They are doing
Daniel. I've never heard of him.
Never heard of him. They are doing an action comic.
Nice.
So they do a lot of comic reviews. So again, as long as it's action related, it's all fun.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Old Man Brad, who absolutely loves Tubi. He is what we tried to be with the Tubi Files. Old Man Brad does it so much better.
He's the Tubi
We tried,
king.
man.
Yeah, he is the king. We've had him over on B Action. We need to get him on other shows around here, but he is doing awesome.
We just had him on the Barons for Satanic Hispanics.
Yes.
Oh,
you did.
yes.
Yes. We have Brainbuster Video. Now, these guys are a boutique VHS company that makes custom VHSs. And the reason they're on here is because they made B Action's custom Steel Frontier VHSs.
Oh, brother.
With
So
one of those
cool.
we are giving away this month. So make sure
What?
you're listening and paying attention. We had extra copies made because I got a copy. It's my copy.
Yeah,
So
all
we
got
have
a
an
copy.
extra
Yeah.
one to give away. So yeah, that's Brainbuster Video, Instagram, check him out. We also have the amazing Surge at Extra Spooky. This was one I was like, what's he do, Dustin? He goes, he makes music
He's
about
killing it.
movies.
Uh-huh.
He's on cloud nine being involved with this.
I
He's
was
already
blown away.
released some songs.
Blown
and
away.
He is the most energetic so far. He got me super hyped. But yeah, make sure you're checking out Extra Spooky. Again, we'll have all of the links. And our latest arrival that literally came in at the clock's ready to click midnight before everything happened. They asked to join. It is Bad Movies, Worst People. So literally looking forward to listening to those guys. I just met them. I'm looking forward to listening to their show. They said they pretty much already do action style movies anyway.
Cool.
So looking forward to checking that out.
So they only do Steven Seagal movies. So bad
movies, worst people. I think that tracks.
That tracks.
That totally tracks. But that is our rundown. I'm sure I'll get quicker and better at this as we go, but let's get back into the show. Mickey, get us back in.
I didn't come here to talk. Lucky for you, they did.
Somebody else talk. I realize why you don't always do a live read.
You feel like you've been doing all the talking.
Where were we? Now, I know we don't walk through the movie, but we kind of just started. So let's kind of tell
Get
the
to the
audience
espionage kind of stuff of it.
Well, what was their mission? Their mission was the first part of the mission was twofold. To complete the entourage, they had to go
save Apple
out of Applegate, I think his name is. Yeah, they
Appleyard.
break him out of a Nazi prison on the way down to
Fernando Po.
Fernando. It's a French colony in Africa. It's the crotch of Africa. That's not a very, I don't know, crotch is a word.
It's accurate, yeah.
But
the Gulf of Africa.
The elbow, the inside elbow of Africa.
The indent, yeah.
Right.
Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
No. No.
God, fucking shit. So anyway, so they're sent down to the French colony because that's where the Nazis are resupplying their U-boats. They're keeping this big ass,
the Duquesa,
super reinforced battleship with diesel and food and provisions and
CO2
carbon
scrubbers,
and,
which
and
was
all sorts of that's very, you need all that shit.
You can't get in a submarine underwater without
exactly.
Yeah.
Everything to keep the U-boats running and dominating are on the Duquesa. That's why they want to sink it. So we can get the U-boats out of Nazi-controlled waters so American troops can come over and help the Brits fight the Nazis.
And we have an inside man, Heron, who
Love
has
him.
already set up with a casino, a bar, a hotel.
He's hustling.
He does illegal trade. He's a smuggler.
That man made money before, during, and after the war just because he's that guy.
He was that guy, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that guy. And then he got basically, I think she's part of the military. She's tied in with them, but
She's kind of a Matahari without being Matahari. She's not that person.
No, she's not that person, but she has a very specific job, and her attributes are her weapons.
Absolutely.
She's very, very distinct set of skills.
Yeah, but she's not just a damsel in distress. She can play that role to a T. Like you said, her assets, are her assets for a reason. But I love when she shows up all the guys on Fernando Poe. Heron's like, she'll outshoot your best man. And old KB was out there having a hard time himself.
Whatever.
And she pulls out every gun they've got and knocks bottles off. She destroys fish hanging. And then she pulls a grenade out just to, cherry on top. And they're like, no!
I love that cut. That's
a
scene cut.
Great cut, yeah.
She's on that one.
She's a real life Agent Carter. That's
for sure.
There you go. That works.
And by the way, Agent Carter, it's a shame that only went 2 seasons.
Yeah. But she definitely had to be someone. You couldn't have the bubbly, buxom, broad. I'm going to keep it, in the timeline. Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, broad.
It had to be. She had to be smart. She had to be intriguing.
She was
and
smart.
enticing to Heinrich, who is Hugo Stiglitz.
He's so fucking good. That man.
The way he does this, like I loved him in Bastards. I believed him, and now I believe he is a utter piece of shit. The first time you see him, he's covered in blood.
Yeah.
You don't find out what he was really doing. A little later, you find out what he was doing.
Or at least it was suggested.
Wearing a white shirt, khakis, just coming up laughing, like not drenched in blood, but you could tell he's been doing some shit.
What
for sure.
Quote, it was like, so there's Nazis, and then there's somebody worse, and that's...
Yeah, he goes, we're here to fight the Nazis, and I think he's worse, basically.
Yeah, is what he suggested, that there's Nazis are really bad and there's nothing good about them, but this guy's worse.
And then there's Heinrich.
Yeah, this guy is something different.
It's like what they would say about Hitler. There's Nazis and then there's Hitler. So it kind of fits. And this guy kind of has his own little empire, which comes later in the movie.
This guy gets his hands dirty. I bet Hitler did not get his hands dirty.
I do love that shot when Heinrich's first introduced to Heron and Marjorie, and he's kind of getting cleaned up, and we get that above shot of his bloody hands going in the water bowl, and the color of the blood was perfect. I just could not have. It looked like real blood. I was like, "This is a beautiful shot."
In the shower, that's what it looks like.
Absolutely,
and
loved it.
Dispersed in the water.
It looked diluted. Somebody took an L for this. Like, all right, who's getting punched in the nose so we can make this work?
Yeah, we want real blood. Damn it,
we want real. Go to the blood bank. I need real blood for this because
right now
it felt like real blood being washed off his hands.
It wasn't hammer blood. I promise you that.
It wasn't a wax crayon being melted
Fulci for that matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love me some hammer blood, but this.
Hey, I love me some Dawn of the Dead blood, but it's crayon.
But I like this. It's intellectual battle that he kind of has with her, and it's a who's going to crack first. Like, can I trust you?
They're showing each other
me?
Their nuts.
Basically, yeah.
She's got a big old set herself.
Goddamn right she does.
And that's what I like a lot about her. She's never the damsel in distress. She's never, even when she isn't in this movie. And I love how they play with that at the end of the movie.
There's a scene a little later on where they're going to go to a party, and Heinrich is like, why don't we just...
Let's fucking have our own party.
Right. That's what he's saying. But
that's exactly what he's
trying
saying.
To coerce you. He's like, why don't we have ourselves a private dark party there? She's like, no, damn it. I got you this costume.
I love that scene.
Put this costume on, and you're going to take me to this goddamn party in a very eloquent way. And he goes, "Aw."
But this is when
like a 10-year-old.
This is when she plays the damsel in distress card to her advantage, because that's when she becomes a girl in that moment.
Oh,
she's
yes.
dressed up, ready to go out. She's got
in a
her
Cleopatra
man
outfit that about
show me off. I
Yes.
want everyone to see me.
She's like, I've been in this sand. There's scorpions in my boots. I have been bit by bugs I didn't know existed. You are putting on this costume and you are coming to this party with me and we're gonna have fun. And he's like,
Yes.
okay. It didn't take much convincing, but she's that good.
You see
to
the
point
dress
where
she's wearing? I don't think
Absolutely.
it really took a whole lot
I
of
did
convincing.
indeed, sir.
yeah, keep that fan going.
Like, there you go, Pete. We would see the hair flowing if there was anything to flow.
That Fabio
no,
hair.
I mean, a lot of this can get overshadowed in the movie because how much we love Cavill and all these guys, but Heron and Majori, I just love how their discussions, their talk about food when they're on the train, their talk about how to go about this thing, the way they have to send messages, can of corned beef hash.
They've got a book of phrases that translate to
that comes into play later.
Right.
And I'm never bored listening to it because I want to know all the details. Like, when she's giving him shit in his casual walk as if they're best friends. And she goes, well, you know what I'm seeing? A lot more Nazis than you said there were going to be, and a lot more ships than you said there were going to be. And he's like, there weren't that many when I left here.
They just showed up.
Like they're busting each other up, but the way they're saying it, it's like a casual conversation walking, across the pier.
And that's what a good spy will do.
Yes.
Level-headed.
Real level-headed. Like, okay, I'm seeing
And there's a
some things
moment when she sees what Heinrich was doing, where we have the black woman hung up by her wrists and was getting abused and probably other stuff happening to her.
It's a shocking moment. It's not
very
expecting
shocking.
it.
It's for all the violence and stuff that happens in that movie. I think that one shot is kind of the most haunting out of the whole movie.
Haunting,
because
it's sad.
That tells so much more than what we're seeing in this story.
That tells me everything I need to know about Heinrich. I already know he's a Nazi. I already know he had to do some pretty despicable shit to get where he is. But this now gives me a look beyond him just being a Nazi. He beats women. He tortures them. This shot is done so well that it's not a very well lit tint, but the coloring is just right. And because it is an African-American woman hanging there, the glint of the sweat off her naked body, but you can tell she's
very dark skinned. She's very, very dark skinned, and you can see all these details. I like what you say, Charlie, the sweat that's it's not pouring off her back, but you can see the beads of sweat.
It's there
on the body, and it's
the way she's hanging is just she's probably dead. In all
actuality, that's kind of what I thought.
But,
me too.
And that is, you're right, Anna. I think this is the most shocking and brutal shot in the movie. We don't exactly see Lasser rip the heart out, but he is holding the heart later. That's pretty much.
You see a lot of.
Well, you see some neck slices. The first one's pretty shocking. God, but and the arrows, which we're going to get into.
We're going to get that.
Oh, I mean, the knife play in this movie, that opening scene with Lassen just with his knife out, my jaw was on the floor and I was sold. Like, there's knife play and violence in this that rivals horror movies I've watched lately. Yep. So you get that in this, and you're kind of expecting that. You know, this is what we're going into. It's the opening scene. We're going to get more of this throughout. But now it's kind of a slowed down pace. We're getting into the spy stuff of it, and all Heron has to do is pull back a curtain. That's all he's got to do. And we see it all, and that's all we need to know.
Showing Marjorie, like, this is what this man is.
Yeah. And in that moment, that's when she kind of breaks too, and she can't get her lighter flicked. She's like ready for a cigarette, and she can't get it flicked. And he holds her hand, and he's like, just,
he showed
reel
her
it in.
That brutality
for a reason.
Remind her, or maybe not remind her, but to show her what kind of person they're dealing
Do
with.
not
Exactly.
get complacent with this.
Absolutely.
Do not fall for his charms, because he's a charming dude.
He will
That
bite
is a
you. You're playing
charming
with
man.
you're playing with a snake. You've played with
Yes.
rattlesnakes. Now you're playing with a cobra.
Yeah.
You know,
no
that's
doubt.
kind of
With
the
2
way
heads
to look at it.
The
and
big
12
dogs.
teeth. Right,
Mhm.
this is no one to fuck with.
And that's why I didn't want these characters getting lost in the story, because they are very paramount to everything that's happening.
No doubt. Yeah.
But
Shit
we
would
got to
not have worked
talk
without them.
No, but we got to talk about, like, I know we already talked a little bit about them saving Apple. Getting up to saving Apple on this first attack in their mission, I fucking love it. It starts with them doing their thing. Like, let's keep an eye on, we're going to go at night.
At night.
Oh shit, there's some officers here. Well, we know why they're here. They're going to get information out of Apple and kill him. We got to do it now. And then they get found out, and it's another blink and you miss it. These Nazis react to something and fall down. And even they're like, the fuck just happened? One of them's like, I think they got hit by arrows. And the other one goes, where's the arrows? And Cavill points up to a tree. There it is.
In the tree. It went
in the
right
tree.
through the
He went
dude.
right through him. Yeah.
And
Gnarly.
Lasser walks around. And he goes,
He's
I think
tripping.
there's the other two. They're over there.
In
They look
Nazi
just
heaven.
like
There's
these
Nazi
guys.
heaven. These guys.
And he's like, where are they at? In Nazi heaven.
In Nazi heaven. And then he doesn't say anything else. Cavill's still trying to make this plan.
Okay, we got this plan. We're gonna get them at night.
Yeah.
And Lasser's just like, again, brazenly
Just goes.
walks up, doesn't hide behind anything, and puts arrows in all the towers. Guard.
And
all
it's
the
like
towers.
Cavill goes, you know what, Lasser, do it your way. Just walk over
Yeah,
and
just go
put
ahead.
arrows in all the
That's fine.
Nazis. And it's great. And I love it. Everyone, and again, they have their
Somehow
mission.
it worked. Mhm.
And the brilliance of the comedy lands so well, because these are Nazis. They're not supposed to be funny. It's not to be any of this. But you have this one Nazi sitting in a meeting with one of the Gestapo.
It's wonderful.
Talking to him. And he's just like, anybody would do it. I'm looking out the window.
I'm bored.
Nose,
I'm tired of hearing this guy
ass.
talk. Like, what's going on outside?
Oh, look out the window again.
He's like
All
Laurie,
this more shit
like
going.
Laurie Strode, like peeking out the
Michael
window.
Myers is popping up. He looks out and like not as many Nazis are out there, and he's like, that was weird. He locks because there's somebody walking. That guy's
And then
not
he's like,
uniform.
Doesn't
That
look
guy,
like a
wait, that
Nazi.
guy's not. That guy's getting inside the freaking machine gun turret.
gun.
And
then he's like-
and he tries to. He speaks
Teacher,
up,
teacher,
and he gets fucking reprimanded by this
quiet.
guy, and he's like, okay, fuck. And fucking Freddy just once Lasser, I think, throws the grenade in the
He does the peek
bunker
over.
bunker of
He
some
does
sort.
the
the
peek
bunker.
over.
peek over. Oh, yep, there's 7 Nazis, 1 grenade.
So fun.
Blows it up. He's huddled in the thing, and it's like that. Like I think Cavill goes, well, there goes stealth mode. That's out the window.
It was going to happen.
Yeah,
but-
and
but
Freddy
it's like, okay, stealth
mows
mode.
these buildings out. These Nazis are pouring out of this building like a zombie horde, and they're falling down on top of each other as
gunning 'em
Freddy's
down.
just strafing across this
Right.
entire thing.
One of my favorite scenes, Cavill goes in right before that happens. Cavill walks in, and the Germans are telling that joke.
Oh God!
From the trailer. Yep.
From the joke from the trailer, and they walk in, the door slams shut, and Cavill starts laughing at the joke like a maniac.
That was the loudest laugh.
And
Oh.
the Nazis go like, "The fuck is going?
The
Who
fuck
the
are you?
fuck are
Where'd
you?"
you come from?
And then brrrr,
yeah.
mows them all over, and then Cavill makes this face like the Joker.
Yeah.
Like,
Pete sends me a picture. Pete sends
his
me a
tongue
picture.
out. And
He's like,
having-
the tongue kills me. The tongue kills me. I was like, yes, sir.
Oh,
Y'all,
there were
y'all
there
haven't
were-
watched it, but Robo War with Reb Brown, we laugh at a scene because Reb Brown busts a door down and just whips his gun back and forth and and yells. Henry Cavill's giving Reb Brown vibes.
Oh,
in
man,
this
it's
kill.
Interesting.
It was great.
I'm
And
here
this
for
is
it.
after they go into the radio room and he realizes they don't know we're here because they have their headphones on.
Yep.
And he looks at Hayes and smiles and then shoots them all in the head like, this is easy. We're playing the game on
So
easy
fun.
mode today.
Right. There is, I don't want to say this is a criticism, but part of this is this whole movie is on easy mode, Charlie. You're right.
Yeah.
Like it's like everyone has very easy. All the heroes have a very easy time shooting everybody. They don't miss. Their guns are quiet. They just keep walking.
I think I don't necessarily think it's easy mode as much as it is just badassness across the board.
It's good planning, but it's also a little. I think it's a little easy. It's certainly not on Diablo mode.
Credit. Right? I did have a thought when I was watching this, and I went, Heinrich is a good damn Nazi.
Oh God, yes.
I don't believe any of these other people are Nazis.
That's fair.
None of them act like Nazis. None of them do Nazi shit.
But they're enlisted, or they're
but you know what I mean.
I bet they're just schlebs, like most army dudes.
Yeah, I was going to say most armies have that. Yeah, they're just enlisted.
They're not the SS.
No,
I mean, they're German soldiers.
They're German,
but they're going to be called Nazis. But they weren't. The SS was the 2 Gestapo guys that showed up. Dude, my favorite. I don't give a shit. Is when Cavill walks in that room and he says that dead Gestapo, and he's like, "Ooh!" And you knew
just about to
knew what he was going to do, and he walks out of that bunker, head held high, with this fucking Gestapo coat and the hat,
and the hat.
I'm shocked he found a coat that would fit him.
Because this is the third time's the charm. We hear it at the start when he's in the meeting with M and everybody getting the lowdown. I really like that.
He got M's coat. Did you see that he's wearing M's coat when he walks out?
Yeah.
Yes.
M gave him the coat, so he's got a coat one. But now he's like, I really got to get me one, because they're talking about the Nazis. He goes, I really got to get me one of those coats.
And he's looking through the binoculars, saying that, and he's like, "Oh, that's the Gestapo. The badder they are, the better they dress. I must really get me one of those coats."
Picturing Cavill having a bat cave of coats and collections
from different places, different wars.
He might be a badass, but he's going to look good while he's doing it.
But oh my God, yes. It's also tactical, because when they go to the big battle,
Fernando Poe,
he's wearing it, and they think he's one of the fucking Nazis.
They salute him
a couple times.
Yes,
happened a couple times,
and it's like, duh, 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 and they just drop because they instantly believed he's like one of their superiors. I loved that. Yes, why not? He's got the get up on.
Although he did have that giant beard, which isn't very Nazi-like.
But, he's wearing the outfit. It'd be different if he had just went and got a Nazi uniform.
Right.
That would have the effect.
He's got the medals and the...
He was smart enough, to get the main
It's the long coat. The hat sells it. I'm sure I'd have to believe you don't look them in the eye. You salute, you do your thing, but you never...
That's why they didn't make the connection.
You don't make eye contact.
With your superiors. So it's like, oh shit, this is Gestapo. Wait a minute. And then you're already dead. You're already dead by that point.
You're dead by then.
Yeah.
By the time your brain makes that connection, you're dead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's so well done. I absolutely love this one. And then let's get to the battle, because otherwise we're going to talk about this movie for 3 hours. Not that that's a bad thing.
I'm okay with that.
I got time.
This movie's worth it.
Go.
It is.
We're not Parker, okay? Stop
we're
trying
gushing.
to make me be Parker.
We aren't. Well, not everybody can do it like Parker.
I like Hulk Hogan. Stop it. Don't make me give up my heroes. Parker's broken.
The way this big battle goes down, when they're trying to sink the Duquesa, everything is set up to a T. Everyone is in place. Marjorie got Heinrich. He's dressed up as Caesar. He's at the party.
Yep.
Heron has rigged the lighting on the island with a bomb to blow all the lights on the island. But his club, his name, is hosting both of these parties, and he has lit both of the parties. Exactly. He's listed he's lighted both of these parties with oil lamps and candles, to where when the lights on the island went out, nobody in the party would be alerted.
They don't notice.
It's so to a T. And then once they get to the party, there's just an offhand comment. all of the guy who built the Duquesa, pretty much, and he's bitching at them because they've ruined his design.
Spaniard,
and
I think.
yeah, and he's like, oh, the Duquesa can't be sunk now. It's been reinforced. All the steel's been added,
She was so fast. She was, like he's proud of his ship.
Right.
And they doubled the armor because they're Germans. They're not stupid. This is a very important ship.
Yeah.
And Marjorie gets that, oh, fuck.
The oh, fuck moment. We all get that oh, fuck moment. I did. I was like, oh, no. What are they going to do?
This is oh, fuck number 2, because they're going to move all this stuff 3 days early.
3 days
True.
early. So
they had to go in closer. Yeah.
This movie is like a slow snowball. The stakes get higher and higher and higher,
but it's paced well.
Absolutely.
Don't let people tell you that this movie goes slow. The story builds.
The story builds,
but so much is happening. You're just more. Okay, yeah, they do it so well. Just didn't want someone to just misunderstand what you're saying there.
And just with like any planning or war or any kind of espionage kind of situation, things can go wrong like this, and you just don't. We're having so much fun watching this movie. They're winning. We're on the winning team. We're like, hell yeah, get them. And then we hit this speed bump, and it's like, fuck. This whole mission is ruined. How are they going to sink this boat if they can't sink it?
They physically didn't bring enough dynamite to blow the ship up.
Yeah, they needed a certain amount to blow a hole.
There's nothing they can do with the equipment that they have brought with them all the way from England.
Yeah.
Until
to sink this ship. So
Appleyard and his big brain comes in and is like, oh, well, if we can't sink it, we're going to steal it.
My dude pulls an A-team out his ass. This is Hannibal Smith.
Dude.
This is, Apple is making a joke. And then a couple of the guys go, do some math and go, I think we can do that.
Laston goes, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's do it.
And I love that they make the joke later on as it's going on. And he goes, wow, I'm really surprised it's working. He goes, this was your plan. He goes, yeah. Yeah,
and love it.
I had nothing else.
Also, once they get to this battle, whenever Heron and Marjorie, whenever he introduced Marjorie to KB and her firing all those weapons, she kind of sold him on the mission and what's going on. And he's like, I'll be there, and I'll also give you like my top 10 best men. My best soldiers.
They needed extra people because it was leaving earlier, which meant more people.
Yes.
And then there was more people on the island, they figured
than they anticipated. Exactly. So we've got KB's guys and our guys like showing up to take care of business.
There's a scene in this movie, and I don't want to overlook this, that I love that Guy Ritchie put this in, because we're only hearing them talk about how devastating the U-boats are to the war effort, how important it is for us to stop them. Guy Ritchie goes through the trouble to show it to us, because when Gus and those guys get stopped by the British Navy and they try to arrest them, and then they figure out that there is a U-boat beelining towards them. So they,
tension.
Gus gone, like, get out of here, fuck off, we'll pick you up later.
We don't give a damn about you no more.
Yeah, the Brits didn't care. Good luck.
We're dropping death charges, which is pretty much the only defense they had. But you see it through Gus's eyes, watching this U-boat blow up, not just an English ship. He knew these people.
Yeah,
he had served with these people. They knew exactly who.
They knew.
We want to hear Gus speak Swedish now.
He's like, not you, Lassen. I want to hear Mark Phillips.
It was a good joke. It was a really good joke.
Yeah, they're like, they fucking know who we are.
And even the Brits were like, oh yeah, good try, mate. We're gonna need you to come on the ship now.
Trying, says Gavel.
But to show the audience how destructive these boats were, these submarines were to the war effort, that was awesome to see.
You had to have that scene.
You had to see that, because otherwise you're like, fuck it, it's a couple boats.
Yeah.
If someone doesn't know the history of it, they're like,
exactly.
It's a big deal of a U-boat.
They're like, who cares? Yeah,
especially when it's called when it's called a U-boat, you don't picture submarine for most people.
No,
but U-boats were submarines, and they were catastrophic. So I love that he added all of this into it. And that now they're trying to figure out, okay, we can't blow up the Decatur. We can't do this other stuff. Apple comes up with this great idea. It's like, let's fucking steal it. And they're like, well, that's way easier than it sounds. No, they got tugs. We steal the tugs first.
Yeah, tugs.
Yep.
We'll get that. We'll rig the boats on the S boats. The S boats were the boats that were on top of the water. They were the faster.
They were fast. They were
strong.
No, the S boats were like escort ships.
They're like escort
you said
ships.
tugboat.
Well, there's tugboats, but there's S boats lining the dock because they have to blow them up because they're fast and they would catch them.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Heinrich has that thing where he's like, all right, fuck it, send out the S boats. They're fast. They'll catch them, and boom, they all blow up.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
So it was all part of the plan. And then they're like, well, have you seen the anchor on the Decatur to hold this ship in place? This thing's massive. And they're like, we got explosives we're not using now.
Freddie,
if it can sink a ship, we can
use it
blow
to blow
up
the anchor.
The anchor. So they make a great plan.
And you see the wheels turning and everybody.
With what they have.
The math is starting to work.
Yeah. It's like, it's a Hail Mary. Everything has to line up perfectly
every
for
once
this
in a
to
while, Hail
happen.
Mary's going to work.
Yeah, that's why they call it that. So it works so well that they come up with this plan. It goes through. They do almost get caught. You know, the Nazis figure they hear the explosion from the, I think it's the fuel tanker goes off first, and then the anchor. Nazis hear that. They finally get out of the dance hall that's been chained up, and we get a pretty good firefight from ship to land.
Oh,
that I
great.
like it, and you know, they've got their bunkers there with the guns pointed out there. I mean, and I think Hayes gets shot. No one actually
In the
dies
shoulder.
except for I think some of KB's guys get
No,
killed.
I think just that one got shot, and then
just the one?
Apple stands him up. Yeah, the main guy who was speaking for
No,
him.
there was one right before him. Because
Oh,
Apple had two guys with him when they come busting through the door.
Yeah,
I think that one guy died when the Nazis first come running out.
He was okay for a while, but I don't know.
But what I love, once they get on there, and you've got Apple and Lassen, and then some of KB's guys, Apple and one of the KB guys lock the door. Like the alarm sounds, and all these Nazi seamen come running. Shit's going down. So they get to the door. They're trying to do they're using their rifles to try to bust this glass. Like, you're not a noob army guy or seaman. Like, you should know that your rifle is not going to bust this glass. And
but
then
to be fair, they knew that if they shot it, it would ricochet.
It would bounce back.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. But what's so great about this scene is that they're on the other side, and Lassen is making his way around
so
through.
This is Jason Voorhees coming
Making
back.
my way downtown. Go slicing necks.
Anna, go.
Ripping Nazis.
Right.
Woo!
Go, Anna. Go,
Yes,
Anna,
Lord.
baby. Go. Tell me about this.
By the time Lassen gets to that door and they're watching him through the window, he is covered in blood. I'm telling y'all, I love horror movies. I love the gore in them. The way this man handles a knife. Oh, it was so disturbing yet wonderful, very scary, but you're like,
bow and arrow
I want more.
On inside the boat. He uses the bow and arrow in this. It's so fucking
It's
good.
insane. And then they finally open the door, and Apple's like, I hope that's not any of your blood. And he's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
And then it takes him. It's
a
just
great punchline.
like Pete said, the audacity of this group of men. Just, oh my gosh, I can't get over it.
Mission, and we're gonna get it done.
We don't
no
give a
matter
fuck if
what.
we die on the way there. Just like I said, the nuts on every one of these guys is just
I like this
insane.
thought of it though too. They're not scared to die. We can't die because then the mission fails.
That's
very true. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So they do free the Decatur. They tow it out. We get
barely.
Yeah, it was harrowing.
It was harrowing. This
whole thing is harrowing. It's
we gotta.
Heinrich has figured out who.
That's what I was about to say. We got to talk about Marjorie.
Marjorie's a spy.
I keep wanting to say Majori. Why can't I not say Marjorie?
That's
I don't
probably
know.
a German or English
Go
pronunciation
like
of it or something.
But like, make it cute.
Butters.
She is buttering them up in this moment. She's stalling. She's being real sexy. She's singing. She's putting on a show, but she
God.
fucks up her translation.
Yeah,
and
she says something in Yiddish.
Catches it. And he said, that's not German. That's Yiddish. We've caught us a little Jew. And she's about to get tortured just like that other woman until shit goes down.
From full mast
Holy shit.
It's not fun anymore.
To split her from forehead to vagina.
Yeah. He's like, you heard of this little movie called Terrifier? I'm going to reenact
I wasn't going to say it.
That's the look.
She's in his lap. She smooches him, says something accidentally in Yiddish, which sounds German, and hops up and starts and finishes her song. And
they muffle the music, so it's like he's seeing red. You know, when you get real mad,
it starts getting
it's muffled.
Blood's rushing through your ears, and
it's not rushing through the nether regions.
No, it left that area.
It's gone.
Yeah, but
Blue Chew ain't bringing that back at all.
Anything. The man's expression.
When he's pissed.
He leans over and whispers to one of his officers.
We caught herself a little Jew.
Yeah, does all that. She's singing and dancing around. The only thing that saves her is the attack, but she does get handcuffed and put in the car. So we get a damsel in distress moment with her, which I do like.
But she plays it off too.
But I love the juxtaposition of this because he thinks he's won. This is when he goes, they got the boat, go get on the fucking S-boats. He kills the Spaniard and the guy that was supposed to be running the harbor because he's like, I am fucking tired of listening to you two bitches bitch this entire time. And that's how he treats them. Boom, shoots them, dead,
boom,
done.
Dead.
I expect Heinrich to do that.
He's like, and now you're gone too. Because the one guy's saying, the Duquesa, my boat is gone. And then he's like, boom, boom. And now you're gone too.
But I also just love that, the guy standing next to him, the other, Nazi guy, he hands him the pistol and he goes, thank you.
And puts it back in his holster. Yeah.
Nonchalant.
Thanks.
Just thanks for that. So they take her hostage, basically. She's in the car. The Decatur gets away. The S-boats blow up. He's still like, all right, we'll catch him here in a little bit. He's in shock, but he's also like, I've got you. We can figure something out. And she plays the victim right up to the edge.
Pulls the dress up
as if she's going to seduce him.
Exactly.
Here.
And
let me live and you can have this.
He did not think she was that smart and prepared for as sly as she was. What is it? There's how does it go? There's two people just as sly as the fox, the German and the Jew. And you, madam, are a Jew, or you're not German or something like that. And
you're not German. And he's trying to be disparaging to her, but in all reality, he's paying her a compliment.
Right.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, but I also feel like just as big of a man he is and as big as his fucking ego is, I think at this point he's embarrassed, and especially with what's going on, they're pulling the wool over his eyes around every corner, and he's been fucked. He says himself, he's like, the Fuhrer is going to come here and ask for our apologies of his own accord. In person.
Yeah, in person.
Like, if we don't get this boat back, we are fucked. Since that's when he turns to Marjorie thinking, okay, I'm going to get something out of you. And like you said, she plays it to that very moment. And she goes, yeah, no. And she has a fucking gun. She has that holster way up high on that thigh.
It's a prison purse, I think that's called.
And close. She had it close up to that purse.
Trying to get monetized on YouTube, but Pete is making sure we definitely don't ever get there.
Sorry.
I'm here for it. That's back to that. What did we just watch and talk about? Rush Hour, when she hikes her skirt up. I was thinking the same thing. But and we already know she's a good. We already know she's a dead-on shot.
She was between that dude's eyes,
right in there.
And I love how subtle it is. Like, it goes through his skull and just a little trickle of blood.
He's still blinking. He's still facial features
still processing.
Are happening.
Yeah.
Did that bitch just shoot me?
The fuck just happened?
Fuck, she shot me.
And I'm dead.
God damn it, I'm pissed.
It's beautiful. And then Heron comes out of nowhere to save the day, and he's like, lay down. Get in the...
Love when Heron shows up. But there's a moment before when the S-boats blow up. He's dressed as a Roman Caesar, a Roman thing.
Too.
And his empire is burning around him.
Yeah.
I
Irony.
immediately
That's-
went,
There's
it's like Nero watching Rome burn. Like just
clearly
it's
a
totally
reference.
that. It is totally that. Guy Ritchie,
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
The irony.
Because it's like, why is she dressed as Cleopatra? Why is he dressed as no one else is really dressed
knew what
up.
she was doing.
She knew what she was doing, but I love that it gave an excuse to have some subtext to this character. And I love when they do this. Like even you have this like Hitler worship. You want to be Hitler, kind of like Red Skull in Captain America. We'll keep it
Right.
topical, but you're the king of your own little area here, and you're watching it fucking burn. Your Roman Empire is crashing down, and he's wearing the fucking armor and shit. And I just
It's beautiful.
I
It's
love
beautiful.
it. I
It's
100% love it. So yeah, and Heron wins. They get on the boat. You know that I do think either something got edited or they tried to force something with Gus and Marjorie having a relationship. There's moments where it's like he's like, "Is she okay?" Or "It's good to see you."
He's a man on a mission.
The real story is they got
married.
I
But-
love that though.
Yeah,
I love that.
So
but
I don't know.
Nowhere
They
in the
must have known
movie,
each other.
but nowhere in the movie is it.
No,
like
they're not connected at all in the movie.
But the way he's waiting, like to me, I would have expected him to be like, Heron knows how to take care of himself. It's about Marjorie. It's about like, we'll wait a little longer. Let's wait a little longer. Heron's got a good way of getting out of things. Let's wait. And it felt like, especially when she gets on the boat and he looks at her, it's all about the looks. And
Let's
he's
get
like,
you out of those shackles. And
Let's get you out of those
indeed,
shackles.
sir,
You're wait-
let's get out of those shackles.
You're waiting for the James Bond moment of let's get you out of this dress. That is exactly.
Let me use the
Yes,
magnet on
sir.
my watch to unzip your blouse.
I love how you're overdressed and underdressed at the exact
At
same
the
time.
same time. but to Guy Ritchie's point, and I think this might be why he went that route. This is not a romance movie. This is not
No,
a
it's
love
not.
story.
And I don't want
No,
it.
it shouldn't have been. I don't want it.
Exactly. I got just enough. And it goes back to Henry Cavill just being so damn charming, and just that look in his eye when she gets on that boat. That's all I needed as a woman watching on, being like, okay, even
That's
with
at
all
you,
the
that
comments, even with all the comments made, is she okay? Well, Heron can survive, but Marjorie is Marjorie. He says something along those lines too. So there's enough there to know that there's a past. And even when they bring him in, Marjorie's like, she's kind of just looking at him. There's moments where you have to get it. He's not going to spoon feed everything to you, which I appreciate.
No, and I felt that's kind of to his credit. It felt like something got cut. He did it so well. I'm like, did I miss something?
Right.
Like,
That's very true.
Was there something else that should have been in there? Like when they were having the meeting, it's like, oh, it's Marjorie. Oh, I know her. We had a thing 5 years ago or some shit. I don't know. It just felt like there was a little
That
piece.
might also be a spy thing. Like I'm not
The
gonna play
eyes,
my cards
Chico.
here.
Yeah, it's always in the eyes. Henry
Never
Cavill's
lie.
eyes. You can always get lost. And then I like the end where they become Churchill's basic. It's his A team, his Delta
Literally,
Force.
yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
A-team. You're goddamn right.
Yeah, I
I
it's-
love that.
Again, guards leading them somewhere. I'm like, any of these people could kill you fuckers, right? Like that one guy's yelling at him. He goes, you don't have to keep yelling. He's like, yeah, that's fine, race. You got to really be
Stop.
quiet, bro. You're being
Please
way
stop.
too
You're
loud.
Yeah, it's like,
embarrassing us.
I get it. I got it.
They bring a full spread of food out there. I'm like, I like this.
Uncuff them.
And my absolute favorite thing really about this movie, aside from all the action and stuff, is actually seeing the pictures of the real people.
There's been
that
so
were
many movies
involved.
that have done this, and it's always a treat to see.
I
It
love
is,
that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
That makes it more
Yep.
real.
It grounds
Yeah.
it.
It grounds it.
It
That's
grounds
a good
it in
way
reality.
to
Like
100%.
again, based on true story. This is Hollywooded.
put it. They're going to take some liberties with it, and
absolutely, and
I
you
don't
should,
have a
because you gotta
problem
make it
with that.
entertaining.
I don't either.
Yes. I maybe that guy didn't have a handlebar mustache. I don't give a fuck. Now
Don't
he
care.
does. Now
Now
he
he
looks
does?
like Henry Cavill. I don't give a shit.
I
It's
think-
fine.
I think the actual guy had a pencil thin mustache.
Yeah, I have no problem with this whatsoever, but I absolutely love it. I say we just go ahead and jump into the things. What do y'all say?
Let's do it.
I don't know how you're gonna get a body count.
Leave anything
I have one.
Just bodies.
Charlie's that good.
There's only one bigger body count in this movie.
Jason X.
Yes, Jason X.
It's not quite to that level.
I think Jason X. It's going to be tough to beat that one.
You guys want to guess again? What's your guys?
Yeah, let's guess.
I do.
I'll say like 225.
Good guess. Good guess.
I was not going quite the 225. I'll do 175.
Pete, 163.
Yay, Pete!
163. Yeah,
Damn.
Like Anna, you was like, that sounds.
Well, it's the two island excursions, and I don't.
And,
I honestly
and a whole
don't.
ship of Brits.
I don't know if that's counting every person that possibly could have been on that ship. Maybe like the guys on the deck that we saw that
people
died.
that you see.
Yeah,
it's hard to say who was below deck.
What class of ship was that? How many people would have been put on
stationed on there?
Yeah, a lot of math. Fuck that. 163.
Horrors stored away in the.
Yeah. Okay. Let's let
in the bottom of the ship.
In the bottom. Well, that's the bottom of the ship. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were whores back then. No offense. I mean, it's just
no offense, whores.
Why do we keep saying this word?
I'm just following the lead.
Sorry, YouTube. All right, let's pick our favorite.
Are we worried about YouTube now?
Good point.
Y'all said we're doing it.
I think they'll just put like an explicit thing on us. I don't think
they'll
we'll
demonetize us.
I think we're already there.
We're
not.
We're not even monetized.
We're not even
no
there
money.
You have to be monetized before you get demonetized, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's the trick.
So, we're in the negative.
You are all welcome. This is a free show. You'll never have to watch a commercial. When you watch us.
YouTube's supposed to fucking put one on there, and they were just not going to get paid for it.
It's like, who are these fuckers showing up with their video and their fans?
They're gonna add more commercials and not pay out. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's pick our favorite. I want to go first.
Oh, you go.
Do it, Charlie. Yeah, lead us
first
off.
Because it's the month of action.
Yes.
I should have been quicker on my button. That means it's my rules. I'm going to fucking make them. It is everyone that dies when Lasser attacks them on that ship.
I am here for this.
A gun. He uses a bow and arrow.
He
pulls the arrow out of a guy, stabs it into a guy.
One right there.
He also knocks an arrow, shoves it in a guy, pulls it through the guy, and pushes it back into the guy.
Sure does.
And when he's out of shit, he finds an axe.
And it's like glimmering like on a video game. Like
his eyes turn into SpongeBob eyes, like these giant.
He found his spatula.
Kawaii eyes.
Yeah.
Like,
heart eyes.
And he's a little tear coming down.
He is chopping through these guys. He's like Darth Vader in Rogue One, just chopping rebels everywhere. The red lights, everything. And then when Apple looks through that porthole to see Lasser chopping Nazis and catches Lasser's eye, Lasser walks over to the porthole and smiles and waves at him.
Love it.
To let him know everything's okay, and Apple opens the door. Everything in that sequence. Every Nazi that dies in that is my kill of the week. I love that whole sequence.
You're not wrong, Charlie.
You are not wrong.
I think my favorite in that grouping, Charlie, is the one Nazi where he holds his head and he takes an arrow and starts at his belly and poke with an arrow all the way up to his temple. Like he hits him.
He's stabbing him. Yeah, he's like multiple stabs.
Stab, neck, temple, throws him down.
Tosses him to the side and moves on.
It's so good.
I love how fast. He's so fast. And you can't stop it. I love it.
Is that your kill of the week, Pete?
No.
What's your kill of the week, Pete?
Is it my kill of the week? Okay.
It's your kill.
My kill of the week. Charlie, you're 100% right. That battle, the battle on the ship and the battle in the bunker were great. So my favorite kill of the week was in the bunker when he put a guy's head through a window.
Oh, yes.
And then took that same head and smashed it down on shard glass. Now, we didn't quite see it, and thank God that man did not suffer very long.
We knew
No,
what
but
happened though.
he's
But
yelling no when he has a
I
hold of his head.
I screamed. I'm like, ah! Oh my God.
I was like, oh man.
Because it was, Lasser is so fast and so brutal, and he has to be with knives.
Yes.
In a world of guns, if you're a bladed specialist, you have to be fast. That's why I love my samurai movies. Right? They have to be fast because you're not going to win against a gun unless you're faster than the gun.
Yeah,
very
because
true.
if you are good with a blade and someone's bad with a gun, the blade's going to win if you're faster. Period.
Yeah. They do it in Expendables, playing,
right.
Statham and Stallone playing the knife games and shit like that. So it totally works.
That crack, and then just shoves his neck on a piece of pane glass. Oh my God.
And then it breaks inside. And
Oh,
there's a piece of glass inside this guy's head.
You don't see any of that, but I pictured it all.
You can picture it. I've seen enough horror
That's all
movies. I know what's happening.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Seen it all. Anna, what is your kill of the week?
I'm going to go with y'all and take the whole scene, but it's the opening one on the boat. Just because I never watched a trailer. Yeah. I'd heard about the movie.
Yeah.
And I knew kind of the basic premise, but going into it, I was like, okay, what's going on here? Holy shit. The amount of violence and then also the amount of comedy. We get that freeze frame and then the title cards drop down with the music. I was like, I am here for this fucking movie, and I'm like 5 minutes in. I want more. So yeah, it's gotta be. It does. It does everything it's supposed to do, and I was along for the ride the rest of the movie.
It's
excellent.
I want to emphasize how fast these kills happen.
So
they happen so fast, and they have to, because at every single point in time in this movie, our heroes are outgunned.
Yeah.
Outgunned, outnumbered, everything.
Outnumbered. If you're not fast, you're dead.
You gotta have the element of surprise and speed. That's their biggest weapons.
Done. Oh, it's
Henry Cavill hip firing a freaking silenced machine gun. I mean, just
silenced machine gun.
with his tongue out. Like, hello.
Oh my God. So good. All right, let's rate this bad boy. That was Lasser.
I haven't even thought about rating this. Shit. Now I'm thinking about
I have. Yeah, I already know.
Oh, we're going to start with Anna. Anna,
let's
do it. Rating the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
This is a fucking 10 banger, y'all. Like, I cannot give this any lower than a 10. I watched this movie 3 times in prep for the show. I've been telling everybody about it. I actually got to show it to Dad because he hadn't seen it. He had fun with it. Excellent. I loved every aspect of this movie. The actors, the ensemble cast, the history of it all. I love war movies. I really do. And the fact that history aspect of it blended so well with what Guy Ritchie was doing with the cast and the fun and everything else around it. It just worked. It worked so well. And I'm here for these kinds of movies 7 days a week. I will watch them anytime you ask, Charlie. So I loved this first pick, and I'm so glad I got to watch it finally. 10 out of 10.
Awesome. Fantastic. Pete, what are you rating?
Before
the
my
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Well,
I gotta say the whole title, Pete. Gotta let me get it out.
It's a long
Before
one.
my rating, I have to. There's 2 things that I want to make sure that I don't forget to say. One, Sir Ian Fleming was in this movie. Author of the James Bond film.
Fleming. Ian
Fleming.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Author of the original James Bond books and Robert E. Broccoli films.
And was a naval officer / spy.
Ian Fleming was in this. His presence in this film was true.
Yes.
He was part of this department. I think it was a different department, but they had to pull his character into this because it's fucking Ian Fleming, right?
He was there, and I'm sure he's aware of shit that was going on.
Yeah. Ian Fleming was not only a chain smoker, but a fucking spy. I guarantee it. His portrayal of James Bond was built off of Henry Cavill's character.
Yes.
Guy. Yeah.
Gus.
Oh no, I've already
Gus.
Thank you very much.
Guy Ritchie directed it.
Gus. James Bond was built off of Gus, the real person,
Which is really cool.
It's really cool. So that's why this does have that spy James Bond.
It's got a Bondy kind of feel, an early Bond kind of feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And finally, before I give my ranking, there is one of the characters in the room where Carrie Elwes, M, and Ian Fleming were in. There was a character that was supposed to be Christopher Lee, because Christopher Lee was a part of this SSS or whatever. Not I said that wrong.
SAS.
SAS. Thank you very much. Christopher Lee was no joke. Christopher Lee was as badass as come. Christopher Lee was the baddest of asses. He was no joke in all of this shit in World War II. He was a spy. He killed people by hand, by knives.
He told Peter Jackson what it actually
Lord of the
sounds
Rings,
like.
Peter Jackson, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Like, Peter Jackson was legit terrified by Chris Lee saying, that's not how people die when you stab them in the back.
It was like Peter Jackson was trying to give him direction, and he's like,
it's like,
I know exactly.
No, that's
he also has a metal band. Christopher Lee has a metal band, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just a badass.
Probably could have done opera. Anyway, so there's an individual that was not given the name Christopher Lee, but was it's insinuated that
Christopher Lee.
Right. Anyway, Anna, I'm there with you, babe. 10.
Oh, hell yeah.
This movie is a fucking 10. And
It's
as soon as
so
there's an
good.
audio commentary, I will buy this Blu-ray 4K.
Oh, that will be fun.
I want all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And
I wanna know
the one that I got from the library has that really cool making of, and just it's not enough.
I need more.
Need more, yeah.
I need more.
I need more.
Charlie?
Charlie.
Bring us home.
Charlie.
I
Month of action.
curated this list.
You
I
did.
hand selected all of the movies for
Are
this
these
month.
all going to be 10s for you?
Whew.
Are we burying the lead?
Wow. You know what? I never even really thought about that. I just
Okay,
wanted
don't worry about it.
I really wanted to pick badass movies, and I wanted a new one that I knew would go over great with my co-hosts.
Yeah.
I knew that I had a blast with.
Mhm.
And if anyone watched the episode of Action Elite where we did this, we all basically said this is a perfect movie. It's 10 out of 10, hands down. We had no critiques. This movie just hit all of us correctly.
It did.
We had a ball with it. I've watched it multiple times since then. Asked for it for Christmas, and I got it, and I still just pop it in. It was on Prime for a while, and I would just turn it on Prime for a little while and just let it play in the background. This movie is fun. It's entertaining. It's graphic as fuck. I love a good R-rated fun.
It's
movie.
sexy.
It
It's
is
sexy as
so
hell.
sexy.
It's got tension. Like, it really has serious
Everything.
tension. Like, oh shit, you're on a boat in the Atlantic. You gotta get here 3 days earlier than what you were expecting.
Yeah.
Oh,
How are you
and
gonna make that
then
happen?
It's reinforced. How are you gonna make that happen?
On a sailboat. There's no
On
engine.
a
There's no
sailboat.
turbo. It's called go
Nobody's
closer
got
to the
cell
shore.
phones.
Yeah, during World War II.
Oh man.
I mean, it's a 10, hands down. I adore this movie. I adore Guy Ritchie movies anyway. I always just had an affinity for that director, and this is like a perfect melding of everything I love about it. So,
hell yeah.
all right, that is number one for month of action.
People, go watch
This
movie.
This is also the first episode I've been on where we have all rated it a perfect score.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on an episode where we've all given it a perfect 10.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I didn't give Kill Bill a 10.
I don't think you gave Substance a 10 either.
I did.
All of my Anna April picks were 10s.
Ooh, I think I gave Substance a 10.
I can't remember the
I know.
exact numbers. But as far as all of us on the episode, this
That's
is the first one, I think.
So is Nate on Substance, and he says like negative thirst.
Nate was on the Substance, but I don't remember what the score was. But I don't think it was a perfect 10 amongst all of us.
That's okay. Well, hey, if any of our listeners know, let us know.
Yeah, let us
Please
know.
do.
We can't remember these things.
Correct our small brains.
Go listen to every episode this year and let us know what you find out. But yeah, so we have huge. It's day one. It's July 1st that you're hearing this. It is day one of Month of Action. There's so much content getting ready to come out. Saturday will be the very first B Action episode. We are covering, oh God, another one of my absolute favorite movies as a kid, Iron Eagle. That's better than Top Gun.
I will
Be
agree
quiet.
With that. The first Top Gun, anyway.
Now,
maybe not Maverick.
Top Gun was prettier than Iron Eagle, but Iron Eagle's a better action movie.
Iron Eagle is a better action movie. And our second Month of Action pick is going to be kind of new, but not super new. But it's definitely going to be one of the highest octane movies of the month. We are doing Mad Max Fury fucking Road with Tom Hardy.
Yes, Lord. Tom Hardy.
Loaded.
I have a guest lined up.
Oh, that's right. You do.
Yeah, I have a guest lined up. And just in case they can't make it, I'm not saying who, but I have things lined up and we are going to be covering that movie. It's a visual spectacle. I've talked about it multiple times, my affinity for this movie. And I was like, fuck it, it's time for us to cover this one.
Let's do it. Yeah.
It's going to be one of my favorites. So again, please go back and re-listen to the live read commercial, write down everyone's name, go find all these people. I will try to get the links in the episodes for everyone that is participating in the Month of Action. Again, 17 separate people and so many people just in spirit that are also just enjoying all of this that's happening around them. Some people wanted to be part of it and it just didn't work in their schedules. It's fine. Action for everyone. We will make sure there's plenty for everyone to listen to. Am I missing anything? Please go follow us over on Facebook at Give Me Back My Action Movies, the Facebook group. Check us out on Instagram and Give Me Back My Horror Movies. But, you know, it's action this month. Go check us out over on Instagram. Give Me Back My Action Movies. Give Me Back My Horror Movies. Anna is Nerd at the Movies, our very own Scream Queen. She is there on Instagram. She bridges the gap of a lot of shows. Baron's Hideout. And, you know, that leads to Dustin, who's on 27 shows, maybe 28 by the time of this month ends. Pete's got Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Please be checking out that.
Yes.
He will put something out this month, even if it's
happening.
just him on a recording, just going, being like Garth when they turn the camera on him. He's like,
oh, Pete, if you need somebody, just let me know. We'll make some work.
We have a recording problem. Our device.
I've been there.
Fix it. Fix it.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
It sounds like user error.
It might be, but I was real careful last time. Like
I was using my big brain.
Is recording.
Too careful.
It didn't record.
Too careful. All right, we're done dragging this out. Everybody, please tune in next week as we get into our next episode of the Month of Action. We are out of here. See you soon.
Bye.
That was one hell of an action sequence, soldier. I haven't seen shooting like that since the Battle of New Hope. The Month of Action couldn't have done it without you. Mission accomplished.
Okay, Anna, who's your favorite? Is it Cavill?
100%.
Is it Cavill?
Like I said, yeah.
What about Alan, though?
I mean, golly. The things that I would let those men do to me, I cannot talk about on this show. I cannot. We'll definitely get in trouble.
I'm kind of on your side. I'd let them do the things to me.
But it's got to be Cavill though. Just that curly, shaggy hair, the beard, and the mustache. My God, the best he's ever looked.
It's ridiculous. Like he grew that beard out to absurd levels, and I genuinely want to know how long it took him to grow it out.
We need to Google this. Come back
seriously,
with the info.
The one thing that I can't do well is grow hair. Clearly.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. But even on my face, like my face is like, I can go, this is like 4 days without a shave. I'm not kidding.
I see some shadow over there.
There's shadow, but it doesn't help that it's all blonde. It's probably white by now.
And now 4 days later, if it was Henry Cavill, he'd be like,
well, right. He's got Charlie going on. Charlie, why don't you try some beard wax and just get that curl going
Thought about
on?
it. But the whole reason I shave my head is so I don't have a hair care condition. I let my beard grow out because I don't want to shave, and I shave off my head because I don't want to brush my hair.
That makes no sense. Yeah. Okay. I do get it that if you don't shave, like you cover up most of that real estate because no one wants to see it.
Nobody
wants to see it. So just
Jackie hasn't even seen it. She
married
the beard.
She married the beard.
Facial hair.
Really?
I've had goatees. But I've always had a mustache. I've always had a goatee.
All right.
Yep. Jackie doesn't even know what she got.
She doesn't